How the wellness industry creates feelings of shame in its consumers. The wellness industry, while often positioned as empowering and positive, can inadvertently, or at times intentionally, create feelings of shame in its consumers through various marketing techniques, cultural narratives, and product offerings. Here are some key ways this happens. 1. Setting unrealistic standards for health and beauty. Many wellness brands present idealized images of health and beauty, often tied to thinness, youth, and specific aesthetic qualities. By showcasing a narrow version of what wellness should look like, people who do not or cannot conform to these standards may feel inferior or ashamed. This especially affects those who may not have the time, resources, or body type to achieve such ideals. 2. Fear-based marketing. The wellness industry frequently uses fear-based language, focusing on potential negative outcomes like illness, aging, or fatigue. Phrases like toxic, dirty, or impure suggest that not following certain wellness practices can lead to poor health or a lack of control over one's body, which can create guilt or shame for people not engaging in these activities or buying these products. 3. Selling self-improvement as a moral obligation. Wellness marketing often ties health to self-worth, implying that improving oneself is not just beneficial, but an obligation. Messages around detoxing, clean eating, and discipline in self-care make it seem that people who don't pursue these goals are neglectful or lacking in virtue. This moralization of wellness can make people feel ashamed of behaviors deemed bad, such as enjoying certain foods, resting instead of exercising, or simply choosing not to engage in wellness practices. 4. Promoting self-optimization as a never-ending process. The wellness industry often promotes the idea that one is never fully well, and that there's always more work to be done to improve oneself. This constant push for self-optimization can leave consumers feeling that they're never doing enough, fostering a sense of inadequacy or failure, even after considerable effort. 5. Emphasizing individual responsibility for health outcomes. Wellness marketing often implies that health is completely within one's control, ignoring socioeconomic factors, genetics, and other determinants of health. This can lead consumers to blame themselves for any health challenges or struggles they face, even if those issues are beyond their control, leading to feelings of shame and self-blame. 6. Using transformational narratives and before and after imagery. Testimonials and before and after images are common in wellness advertising, showing dramatic transformations of body or lifestyle. While these narratives are meant to be inspiring, they can instead make people feel inadequate if they do not experience similar results. These messages imply that without such changes, one is stuck in a less desirable before state, adding pressure and shame to achieve certain transformations. 7. Language that pathologizes normal variations in bodies and lives. Certain wellness messages frame natural variations in bodies, skin, energy levels, or mental health as problems that need fixing. Normal experiences, such as aging, occasional tiredness, or even body fat, are pathologized, creating a sense of defectiveness in consumers. By making people feel that these things are abnormal or undesirable, the wellness industry fosters shame around simply existing as they are. 8. Exclusionary practices that foster comparison and competitiveness. Wellness spaces, products, and practices can sometimes feel exclusionary, creating a sense of hierarchy among consumers. Certain luxury wellness products or services are accessible only to those with significant resources, and those who cannot afford them may feel left out or lesser. This fosters comparison and competitiveness, rather than a genuine sense of well-being or community. 9. Encouraging people to identify as broken and in need of fixing. Wellness brands sometimes imply that consumers need fixing, whether through a new diet, a supplement, a fitness program, or a mindfulness technique. The underlying suggestion is that without these interventions, there's something wrong with the consumer. This subtle framing can make people feel flawed and ashamed of their current selves. 10. Following influencers who perpetuate perfection. Social media influencers in the wellness space often portray an idealized version of life, free from imperfections or struggles, which can heighten feelings of shame among followers who can't achieve the same standards. This phenomenon, sometimes called compare and despair, can make people feel inadequate or guilty for not being as healthy or happy as the influencers they follow. Counteracting the shame cycle. Awareness of these tactics allows consumers to engage with the wellness industry more mindfully and critically. Emphasizing body positivity, inclusivity, and mental well-being over unattainable ideals can help shift the industry toward genuinely empowering, rather than shaming,